Yo, what's good, brother? You ready to live stream?
Oh man, I just don't know. I'm feeling real low on energy right now.
What? You know what, man? I know exactly what you need. You need some W energy. Let me send you some W energy right now.
W who? W what? W energy? What's that?
What's W energy drink, you say, Tim? W is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or against like other energy drinks. W energy drink contains no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. W energy drink also contains vitamins, amino acids, nootropic, and 150 milligrams caffeine. Here, Tim, try W's energy drink latest flavor, Dragonade. How do you feel?
Yo! Oh, I'm feeling so much better. Damn, where do I get some more of that W from?
Oh, that's what's up. Just go to the awesome website, w.gg, and use our special code Bloodline1 and get 10% off right now.
About how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of the Dome Field Advantage podcast. My name is Dylan Abear, and today I am here to talk about the Saints' 22-17 preseason victory over the Los Angeles Chargers in Inglewood, California at SoFi Stadium. But before I get into that, here at the Bloodline family, we are all about supporting others content, tuning into others' content, make sure that we're doing our part in supporting others. And this Saturday, we have a big live stream coming at you, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Our guys at the broadcast from Down Under are presenting their live stream. So check it out real quick. Yep, that's right. Like I said, broadcast, our Bloodline brothers from Down Under are going live this Saturday, 8 a.m. Eastern for a big live stream. If I'm up in time, I will definitely tune into it. I'm not one to wake up early on the weekend. Waking up early during the week for work is always one that is really challenging for me. So I will do my best. If I don't, I will catch the replay, check out, support our brothers over there. And also, before we get into that, let's hop into the comments. Comment section is blowing up already. Let's see who we got. We got Nick from the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Nick, thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see. We got Courtney. Courtney's always in the comments. She's one of our biggest supporters, one of the ones for the Bloodline that we always love supporting. She always supports us, and she's the head of our Discord. Go check out our Discord. The link's in the description for this video. Go check out our Discord. She's doing just fantastic things over there. Of course, Devin, our tribal chief, thank you for tuning in to the show. Kayla, also thank you for tuning in, and I'm sure more comments will roll in as the show goes on. But for this week, it's the same format. Talk some keynotes, talk my player of the game, and I will do my preview of the week 3 preseason matchup versus the Houston Texans inside of the Superdome. So let's get right to it. Let's not waste any time. Let's get to my keynotes, my 5 keynotes for this matchup versus the Los Angeles Chargers. And as you can see, it is not 5 keynotes this week. I got 6. And for the whole game, I had 5 listed down, but someone really, really impressed me during this game. And that's why I had to add a 6th person on here. And so let's get into it. My number 6 keynote from the Chargers game versus the Saints is this guy you see on, I could say, the left side of your screen, Nico Lalos. He is the real deal. I'm really hoping this guy makes the team. He finished with, 3 sacks, 5 tackles, 4 tackles for losses, and a pass breakup. I'm not sure if he started the game. I know most backups were starting this game, so I'm not sure if he played the whole game. I didn't look at his snap count to see if he played the whole game or not, but man, this guy was absolutely phenomenal. So seeing him come in and put up the stats that he did, my God, dude, like I just told myself I had to add a 6 keynote here. So as you can see, the big red X over the 5, and I'm not sure if I'll continue doing that as the season goes on, if I'll have more keynotes than 5, but I'm gonna try to limit myself to 5 for that. Number 5, I have the kicker, Blake Groupie. He is going to make another team very happy. Now, as we all know, Will Lutz is our kicker. So Blake Groupie is coming in. He's getting a lot of snaps, but he's not necessarily going to make the team. So going into the regular season, there may be a team that is struggling with their kicking. I'm not sure who everyone's kicker is in for anybody. I'm not sure who everyone's kicker is. So I'm not sure if anyone's struggling. I know the Buccaneers just released one of their kickers today, leaving them with 1. So they may call him in once the preseason's over. I know for a fact that Blake Groupie will not make the team, and if he goes to the practice squad, then a team can scoop him up, but they have to put him on the 53-man roster. So I mean the Buccaneers, our rivals, may come in there, scoop him up, and may show him that he could be a starter for Tampa Bay. Like I said, they're only down to 1 kicker. I'm not sure the rest of the NFL's status when it comes to kickers, but yeah, he has not missed a kick this entire preseason. He had our game winner versus the Chiefs, and then I believe he made at least 2 or 3 kicks in the last game. So he's reliable, but like I said, this is preseason. The regular season is a very different thing. So I'm not, quite sure if he'll turn into a different kicker, if he'll start missing a bunch, get cut by team after team, and then suddenly it's just like third year in the NFL and he's on his on his 10th team already. So I don't know. It's a wait and see. But right now he really impressed me. So I guess we'll see. Number 4, the Saints are continuing to win the turnover battle, and that and in the Chiefs game, I believe we had, I think, 1 interception. I know we had 2 interceptions. This game, we had a fumble caused by Peyton Turner. He was a first-round pick a couple years ago. Hasn't really shown out that he can be a valued player yet, but he made some noise in this game, forced a fumble recovered by Brian Bresee, and then interceptions by Isaac Gedem, and a game-winning interception by Lonnie Johnson Jr. So this Saints team that really shown last year that they were not capable of forcing those turnovers really showed that they can do it this time around. So it'd be nice if the Saints can keep on winning the turnover battle, can actually force turnovers, something that they were known for. Let's go back to the 2009 season. The Saints forcing turnovers every single year, and that led, or I have to say every single game, and that led them to winning the Super Bowl that year because they had key interceptions and fumble recoveries in the NFC Championship game and even in the Super Bowl with the Tracy Porter interception for Peyton Manning. So if the Saints can continue to win that turnover battle, it can lead to games won, and we all know defense wins championships. So Saints can really, win that turnover battle. I don't see why they can't compete this year. Number 3 is the rookies are continuing to shine, and I'm highlighting a lot of rookies this week. Last week I didn't really talk much rookies. This week I'm going to highlight a few of them. So this week I'm going to go to Kendre Miller, a guy that a lot of those fantasy experts are just absolutely loving right now. He finished the game with 3 catches, 36 yards, and he also was the leader, 10 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown. So I was scared last week. I know the injury came. I wasn't sure of the extent of it, but he showed he could bounce back, and he's looking really good. With Alvin Kamara out that 3-game suspension, I could see him serving as that number 2 behind Jamal Williams. Another rookie, obviously, I just said Brian Bresee. He had the recovered fumble. Then Jake Hayner, quarterback Fresno State, came in, and he went 11 of 17, 118 yards. Shaq Davis from South Carolina, undrafted free agent, came in and had 3 catches for 63 yards. And Jontre Kirkland came in as well, 3 catches for 59 yards. So I'm highlighting more rookies this week. And something that scares me about all these rookies I'm highlighting is not all of them are going to be there. And that's the scary part, because the Saints, these rookies are looking so good, but it's like this roster is so stacked already. You're worried that they're not all going to make it. And I'm really hoping the Saints don't make that bad mistake and cut somebody who can be valuable to the team. And if they put them on that practice squad, someone can come in who needs this position and they could scoop them up, and they got to put them on that 53-man roster. So that's the one thing I hate about preseason. For one, I hate preseason as it is, because it doesn't count and because the starters don't play, and it doesn't mean much. But yeah, football's back. It's nice to see football, but I like to see the starters. But seeing these backups play, gives me that opportunity to see someone who can come in and fill in a role for an injury or a suspension, like I said with Alvin Kamara, or if someone just randomly goes down. And getting is someone who could possibly go down. Let's get to my number 2 key, and that is the Saints. They needed another linebacker to kind of go with Demario Davis and Pete Warner. Let's say someone goes down, someone needs a break, and they did that with veteran linebacker Jalen Smith, who played previously for the Dallas Cowboys and for the New York Giants. He was more of a highlight in Dallas. I know I hated him when he was in Dallas, and that's when the Saints were playing. And I believe it was like a helmet-to-helmet hit against Alvin Kamara. And I did not like him right there. And I said, this guy's good, but, plays for the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys. And, something I didn't like. But, we brought him in. He's been showing this guy can be like a true animal on the field. So it'll be nice to see if he can keep that up and we actually retain him on the team, which, he's been showing that he is capable of a spot on the team. So, like I said, for all these things I'm mentioning, it's all a wait and see. So let's see if the Saints will retain him and see how he does in this Week 3 preseason game. Hopefully, he makes that roster cut. But getting to roster cuts, something that I'm not big on right now when it comes to this Saints team, and that's my number one keynote, and that is penalties, penalties, penalties. And the Saints recorded 14 penalties for 141 yards. And there were 2 touchdowns that were called back by the same penalty, and it was by the same person, and that was Bryan Edwards. Bryan Edwards, I believe, played in Vegas with Derek Carr. I think he played for the Falcons as well. And now he's in New Orleans. I had high hopes for the guy, but these horrible penalties is the thing that's going to stop you from making the team. So I'm not expecting Bryan Edwards, especially with how these rookie receivers are showing out. I'm not expecting Bryan Edwards to make the team. Honestly, I'm not expecting him to even be there for the Week 3 preseason game. You know, I know roster cuts are coming soon, so I'm not expecting him to be there. But this is a Saints team. Same penalties I've been seeing year after year after year. And it's the same old thing. And like I put on my notes, it's a new year, but it's the same undisciplined Saints team. So it was like this when Sean Payton was there. It was like that in the first year of Dennis Allen, and it seems like the second year of Dennis Allen is not starting off any better. So this Saints team has to get more disciplined. If not, I mean, there's going to be multiple games that come down to the wire, and it's going to be a pass interference that's going to be, like it's going to go out to the 1, and then the team's going to get either the game-winning field goal, game-winning touchdown, and we're going to lose a game that we should have won. But it's because of these penalties, it's absolutely screwing us. So I'm not happy with it. You know, and that's the only negative takeaway I can have for this game. Because, I mean, for one, this game was very close to not even happening. You know, the hurricane, or I should say Tropical Storm Hillary, was hitting in Los Angeles. It forced a lot of people not to be at the game. Beat writers for the Saints were asking why they even had to be at that game, you know, for putting people's lives in risk to be out in that weather for a preseason game of all things. And then I believe they had a small earthquake that hit near the stadium. So it was all madness before this game even started. So that's the only like negatives I have, you know, the weather, the earthquake, and then the penalties, man. The penalties is something that really, really frustrated me into this game. So moving on to my player of the game. Yes, there's a lot of people to choose out of, but as you can see on your screen, my player of the game is Nico Lallis. This guy is the real deal. Like I said in my keynotes, this guy is the real deal. He finished with, once again, 3 sacks, 5 tackles, 4 tackles for losses, and a pass breakup. This guy was all over the field. He was so fun to watch. And I'm really hoping this guy makes it. He's bounced around a little bit in the league, so I'm hoping that he lands in New Orleans and he goes to that much needed defensive line that we need right now. You know, the Saints, they had a few defensive linemen that walked. Some went to the Falcons, some went to the Panthers, some went all over the place. So I'm hoping that this needy team for a defensive lineman is something that we retain. And I'm hoping that the Saints, they keep Nico Lallis and he continues to make that noise that he made against the Chargers, because he is showing that he's the real deal. I'm going to constantly say it. He's the real deal. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in that Week 3 matchup against the Houston Texans. So my player of the game is Nico Lallis, and I'm looking forward to this guy. If he does stay with the Saints this season, I believe he could be one that could be in that running for a sack leader or something like that, because he is a true animal in the field. So he was fun to watch. You know, every time they snapped the ball, this guy was automatically there. So going to be interesting to see how Week 3 and then the regular season goes. So before I get to my last and final topic, you know, I want to get to a few more comments. Of course, my guy Graydon, the movie guy at the Bloodline, thank you for tuning in. My sister and my mother tuning in to the show as well. And my aunt Jordan's mother is tuning in. My backstage guy Jordan, who I can see right now on StreamYard. Jordan's my backstage guy. He runs all my overlays. So I want to shout Jordan out real quick. Jordan's doing fantastic job for me as well. TK, thanks for tuning in, my guy. Thanks for tuning into the show. It's always a pleasure having you here. But yeah, getting to my final topic of the stream, and that is my week 3 preview versus the Houston Texans. The Saints are taking on the Houston Texans on Sunday, August 27th at 7 o'clock Central Time. Now, I didn't write anything down for my preview. And the reason why is because I think I can take my preview from my keynotes. And that's just a few things I want to avoid. And first thing I want to avoid is obviously penalties. And penalties are not something that you want to be known for going in to that week 1 matchup. And yes, shout out to Jordan. Jordan's doing fantastic things for the show. He's on another show with me, but Jordan is my backstage guy for the Dome Field Advantage podcast. He's sitting back there. He's had health issues, but he's committed. He has been coming. He comes to the stream early. He makes sure he has everything in order, and he's doing fantastic things. So soon enough, Jordan will be with me on this show. I want to bring him on for a game, talks either like a preview, do a recap, some of that. Jordan will join me sometimes this season for the Dome Field Advantage podcast. But yeah, Jordan's doing fantastic things. So of course, some more love to Jordan. Jordan, like I said, doing fantastic things. So look forward to Jordan doing some more work with me here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network. But yeah, getting to the preview, like I said, penalties. Something I want to avoid is the penalties. Like I said, 14 penalties for 141 yards. For Saints games, like before and after, I listen to Bobby Hebert. He's former Saints quarterback. He does the pregame, postgame shows for the Saints, and he always said that if it goes over 100 yards, then that's 7 points right there, and that's obvious truth. And the Saints gave up 14 of them for 141 yards, so that's over 7 points that you just gave up right there. So something the Saints cannot do. And the last thing I want to avoid, obviously, we didn't see it too much or at all in this game, and that's injuries. The Saints did well with injuries. I know Jake Haener had to go into the injury tent. He did come out. He did play a lot better than he did in that week 1 matchup. He was really hyped up going to the week 1 matchup. Didn't look as good, and then he drew a lot of criticism. But then he fought off those critics and came back and played so well and showed that he can be a valuable backup or a third string. I know Jameis even looked good. Jameis was putting the ball on the money to Kendre Miller and to Shaq Davis as well. So the Saints are going to have some tough decisions when it comes to roster cuts, because this team is so well put together, but they're well over that 53-man mark. So I'm going to hate to see who we have to cut. It's going to be so unfortunate. But the good thing about it is a thing called the practice squad. If we're able to call somebody up, or if another team, which I'm hoping it's a team that I don't hate, gets an opportunity of getting that person. But all players, I believe, deserve that opportunity to shine. And the Saints have been given so many opportunities, and all of these players have been shining. So that's my only two kind of things I'm looking for in this game. It's the last preseason game before the regular season. They already canceled joint practices. The Texans and Saints both released their statements that they're canceling joint practices. The Texans dealing with a few injuries. I know the Saints had their big mishap with Jimmy Graham, something I didn't get into just yet. Jimmy Graham was detained for a medical episode. He was evaluated, was able to join the team, but like most starters and a lot of the second string, he didn't dress out. But I'm honestly hoping that Jimmy can actually play football again. Something I'm worried about with Jimmy, because if you're experiencing like seizures, medical episodes, I don't think you need to be playing. And he's been playing for quite some time. He was with us. He was with Seahawks, the Bears, Packers. So he's done his time in NFL. He has not had a ring. For someone of his caliber, of his talent, I wish that he would have got a ring. But I'm not sure if Jimmy needs to keep playing. So I think with all of that, with the Texans injuries, with the thing with Jimmy Graham, and it doesn't need to happen. I think canceling joint practices is the right move. And these guys can go into this final preseason game just locked, loaded, ready to go, and show that they can put on a great final matchup for the preseason as we get ready for our regular season matchup against the Tennessee Titans, who, I mean, they're a good team. I mean, Tennessee's a good team. They had that good rushing attack. Derrick Henry, that's someone you always have to watch out for. But I think the Saints can pull ahead, but that's another day to be talked about. But that'll do it for this recap, this episode of the Dome Field Advantage podcast. Thank you to everyone who tuned in the comments, who's going to be tuning in later, days from now, who's going to be watching the replay. If you tune in, obviously, I'm super appreciative. Something I'm always going to do after my show is I'm going to give thanks. Giving thanks is something I feel like is necessary. Someone who I honestly I never saw myself even getting into something like this, and the fact that the Bloodline Entertainment Network gave me that opportunity to start something like this, I'm always going to be super appreciative. So everyone in the comments that are still tuning in right now, if you're joining in right now, then you're a little late joining in, but yeah, tune into the replay. You can catch the rest of it, Facebook, on YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. But once again, that'll do it for this episode of the Dome Field Advantage podcast. I will be back one more time to do a recap for the Texans game, and then we will slowly move ourselves into the regular season, where I will be going live 2 times a week to do a recap on Monday and a preview game for the next game on Wednesday. But week 1, I will not be going live on Monday because I have nothing to recap whatsoever. So Wednesday of week 1 is the only time you'll see me, as I'll be previewing my game with the Tennessee Titans. Last few comments that come in, of course, Bakley from Cage My IQ, thanks for tuning in. And of course, I got Dango from the Bump Boys, thank you for tuning in as well. Social media first, you can find me on X, on Twitter, whatever you still decide to call it. I still call it Twitter. It's a lot to to do. You can find me, as you can see at the bottom of your screen, at Dylan Aber _. Follow the Bloodline Entertainment Network on Twitter and Instagram at the Bloodline ENT, same handle for both. Sub to our YouTube channel, support the rest of the channel, and no, I'm not just reading the bottom of it. It's just the way it's coming out. Support the channel. Everyone who is just a talented content creator who's doing amazing things for this channel, just go check them out. They are doing fantastic things. This brand is growing. We're growing day after day, and we're just putting together a tremendous team of content creators, of writers, of just amazing people that can showcase our talents and showcase what we can do for the Bloodline Entertainment Network. So be sure to go check out everyone. Go read the articles, watch the videos, and just do anything you can to support. We're also on Discord, like I mentioned. Check out the link in the description for this video. For all social medias is in the link in the description. So go follow, subscribe on all of those platforms. We also have merchandise. My camera is a bit low, but yes, we have merchandise. I am rocking my new Bloodline shirt. Super, super comfortable. But to talk about the rest of the merchandise that we have, check out the sweet commercial that we got.
Tired of bored, uninspiring merch? Well, you need to go to bloodlinenetwork.com/merch.
We got merch for everyone. Men, women, kids, in the home.
We got tanks, V-necks, t-shirts, coffee cups.
And we can't forget about beach towels. That's right. Get your ass off that hot ass sand and get your Bloodline Entertainment Network beach towels.
bloodlinenetwork.com/merch.
For your pleasure.
That's right. Like I said, I am rocking this awesome Bloodline shirt. They are available in different colors. I went with the black. Probably a horrible decision to go with black in this heat right now. I went outside with it today and I was sweating my ass off in it. So if you're living a hotter part of the country, I would suggest that you do a different color, that the sun's not shining down on you and causing you to nearly have a heat stroke. But yes, we have other merchandise, like they mentioned, coffee cups, beach towels, V-necks, tank tops. We have everything. We're also sponsored once again by W Energy. Go to w.gg and use our code Bloodline1 to get 10% off of your order. But once again, that'll do it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend, had a fantastic Monday, and I will see you all next Monday for this episode for the Dome Field Advantage podcast. I hope everyone has a tremendous day. Y'all have a good one.